Hi, my name's Cordy, and let's get serious for once, shall we? You're tired of the guitar stuff and you want to see me give my DIY tips. So, the glare has been an issue, so I've decided to grab the cheapest curtains I could find. I've sent back all my pedals and amps and stuff. We're not here for gear demos anymore, we're here for DIY. And these are the cheapest curtains I could find, £10 a pop, yes please, two. And obviously the most important thing when you're putting up curtains is to make sure you've measured correctly and that you've got a curtain rail that fits. And you can see that's why I've chosen this particular one. And alright, but probably get a saw if you're going to make that sort of mistake in it. Be back with an update. And if you thought my guitar playing was sloppy, check out my DIY. Look at that. I mean, they are up. The idea was that they'd be about this height. These go all the way to the floor. But curtains, alright? Anyway, on with the lesson. We're going to be looking at some chords. Okay, so hopefully we've got less glare on this video than we have had for the past few days. Curtains are up. See what happens. Right, so on live stream the other day, Thomas was asking me about spread triads, and it reminded me of a thing. So he reminded me of this tune by Metheny, Untitled Village, or something like that it's called. And it does that sort of thing, and it's moving around what we call spread triads. So for this lesson we're not going to be looking at that tune. I'm looking at a tune I wrote because it was my way of kind of understanding what these things were. So we're thinking in D major, and I'm going to show you an old video of me trying to talk through this tune, and it's the old video of me playing it, and it's a tune that I wrote a long time ago, I think maybe 2007-ish, and it makes use of these spread triad things, or a few of them anyway. So if we're in D major and we took a B minor triad, this would be kind of one typical one, or here. So inversions of triads is a thing that you might want to check out. But what we can do once we've got a hang of that sort of thing, and that takes plenty of practice. I think we spoke about triads last week a little bit. So this week I wanted to talk about spread voicings, spread triads. Is a thing that Eric Johnson uses, Pat Metheny uses, lots of people use them, and they have kind of a cool sound. So take that B minor triad. It's made up of a B, a flattened third, which would be the D in this case, and an F sharp. The F sharp is in the top. So what we can do is drop this D, or whatever the opposite of drop is, to the E string, and you end up with a voicing which to me sounds a bit more open. So that's the minor version of a spread triad voicing from the D string. So you've got other places to play that. So figure that out on each of the string sets. So just slowly, we've got one here, 7th fret on the E string, we've got one here on the A string, and then we've got one here on the D string. Now there are other ways to play them, but those are just the ones that I like to use. A major version of that, obviously we'd have a major third instead of a minor third, and so that would sound like that. So you'd have a B, an F sharp, and a D sharp in the top, and so the major voicing looks like that on the E string, on the A string like that, and on the D string like that. The major and minor is basically all you need really to get started on this thing, and so what I'm going to show you is just a very simple thing that I do, and that's move diatonically around the major scale to what you'd expect to see. So if you know that the major scale goes major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished, major, you can do something with that. So take a D for your major, that's your root. We're in D major here, by the way. So take your major scale and from the root, so you've got a D in the root, let's build it up. So you've got a D major, an E minor triad, an F sharp minor, a G major, an A major, a B minor, and then a D, C sharp, sorry, diminished, and then back to the root. So that would be a thing that I would try. So in the reversed kind of order and on a different string set, you could attempt it as well. And just join things up, maybe like the entire length of the fretboard, if you can. So, and also across string sets. So our F sharp minor, G major, A, B minor, C sharp diminished, D, E minor, F sharp, G, and A, B minor, and then C sharp diminished. So you could do that as an exercise, joining things up across the fretboard, across strings, and that's essentially what I was using, like a tiny snippet of that for my tune. And think about trying to make a melody out of the top note, because that's going to be essentially what people are hearing. Another nice thing that I like to do is play with a 9 in the top instead of the third, or a second. So you take a D major and you play, instead of the F sharp, you play an E, and I think that has a really cool sound. So that's basically the mechanics of what I was doing to come up with that thing. So we go from a B minor spread triad to a spread triad, and then to a G kind of sus or add 9. So this would be what I'd encourage you to do. I'm going to put up on Patreon a pathway through the major scale with these. And then what I've done is I've used these to make my own little melodies like you hear in the tune. And the music for that will be also there. And I think you can use these spread voicings in the middle of other things. They do tend to play nicely with other things, so. So that's kind of my first thoughts on spread triads and how to start getting these under your fingers. Start to work out a way through the major scale with these shapes. These are in root inversion. There are also 2 other inversions, because you can play it from the 3rd or from the 5th as well. But we'll cover that at another stage. If you can play through the major scale, try it in a few different keys. I'm going to write out in D major, and I'm also going to give you this sheet music for the tune that you're about to hear me talk about and play years ago. Then I think we'll be in good shape to talk about some more of these spread triad things going forward, and some other things you can do with them, such as inversions and key changes and things. But thank you for stopping by. There's going to be some more to follow, and yeah, cheers. So that was Room with a View. This is a song that I wrote when I was young. And it's based off this idea of kind of spread triads in B minor or D major, kind of Eric Johnson-y voicings. So I'm playing this hybrid pick and these fingers. Sort of cascading that one down. And then here's another Eric Johnson kind of chord. So pick the bottom part of the chord first, 3 strings. Something to work on is trying to keep a solid dynamic sense for each of the chords, so you're not getting that sort of unevenness. Same thing again, B, A, G, F sharp minor, E minor, and then this little fill. Double stops. So pick, hammer on, slide. Then we're moving between G major and B minor. The lick at the end is just this legato idea. Start it off slowly, you'll be able to build up the speed gradually. So the things to watch out for in this one, I think, are the lick at the end, and then basically trying to work on the evenness of each of the chords. And some of these chord shapes might be new to you, so you might want to just slow things down and just go between each of them. Make sure you're comfortable and your fingers are in the correct places.